Hello students. Next in software process project management we are having a second unit, that is conventional software management. In this the best thing about the software is its flexibility. Okay, it can be programmed to do almost anything. The worst thing also about software is its flexibility only. So the most almost anything characteristics has made it difficult to plan, the monitor and control the software development. This unpredictability is the basics of what has been referred to for the past 30 years as a software crisis. Okay, so in middle 1990s, at least three important analyses of the state of the software engineering industries were performed. Okay, so the result were present in patterns of software system failures and success in chaos model and a report of the defense science bot task force and acquiring defense software commercially. Okay, so flexibility is the main thing to achieve advantage and disadvantage also flexibility in this software conventional management. Okay, so by analysis of all these things, we the authors define that all three analyses reached the same general conclusion. What is that? The success rate for the software projects is very low. Many researches are made. Although the analysis has some differing perspectives, the primary messages were complementary and consistency. Okay, for that the basic three steps you have to follow for getting the successing of the projects. Okay, so first one is software development is still highly unpredictable. Only about 10% of the software projects are delivered successfully within the initial budget and schedule estimates. Okay, how many predictions you are taking for developing a software? Only 10% softwares were are successful. um, why? Because within the time and scheduling the budget, it is going to be executed. That is hundreds of projects you are going to execute, but in that only 10% are very successful in time and budget. Okay, so next the management discipline is more of a discriminator in success or failure than our technology advances. Either you are having a success or a failure, you have to as we are increasing the technologies also. Okay, you have to management the discipline. Third one, the level of the software scrap and rework is indicative of an immature process. Okay, here we are increasing the level of scraps and you are increasing the rework. That is, work done again and again is called rework. So the three analyses provide a good introduction to the magnitude of the software problem and the current norms for conventional software management performance. Okay, so there is much room for improvement. So here we are summarizing these things by using a model called waterfall model. Okay, what you have seen in the software engineering waterfall model is simply how it is going to perform the task and in a step by step process. But in our is advanced language and advanced versions are taken here. In this waterfall model here, mainly it is the baseline process of most conventional software projects have used. We can examine this model in two types. One is theory and second one is in practice. Okay, first we see the theory. Theory one, in 1970s, Winston Royce presented a paper titled Managing the Development of Large Scale Software Systems, software systems at IEEE Westcon. So this paper based upon the lesson he had learnt managing large software projects. So remaining most quoted sources of the waterfall model. So in this waterfall model, it is providing an insightful and concise summary of conventional software management philosophy in 1970s. At most 30 years old advice has stood the test of the time in face of immense technology turnover. In this paper, we are mainly taking 3 primary points into the consideration. What are they? First one, there are two essential steps common to the development of the computer programs, that is analysis and coding. You have to analyze the process and you have to code. These are very important things. Analysis and coding both involve creative work which directly contributes to the usefulness of the end of the product. Okay, here analysis and coding should be taken. Second one, in order to manage and control all of the intellectual freedoms associated with the software development, one of the most one must introduce several other overhead steps, including system requirements definition, system requirements um, definition, program design, and testing. Here you have to take system requirements definition, software requirements definition, and program designing and testing. Okay, so not only the requirements are only for system, for software also we are having the requirements. That's what you can see in this diagram. Okay, these steps supplements the analysis and coding steps. Okay, the project profile and the basic steps in developing a large scale programs are software system requirements, software requirements, after that analysis, next program designing, next coding, next testing, and next operations. Okay, step by step process. You can't do last step first or middle step first. First of all, you have to choose the requirements, you have to analyze the project, you have to design it, then coding, then testing. Okay, so um, there are 5 necessary improvements for this approach to work. What are they? Complete program design before analysis and coding begin. Okay, next one, maintain the current and complete documentation. Third one, do the job twice if possible. Fourth one, plan, control, and monitor the testing. Fifth one, involve the customers. Okay, lastly we are having the third step is the basic framework described in the waterfall model is risky and it invites the failure. Okay, so the testing phase that occurs at the end of the development life cycle is first event for which time, storage, input output transfers etc are to be maintained in this. Okay, these experiences experienced as distinguished from analyzed, the resulting design changes are likely to be descriptive, that the software requirements upon which the design is based are likely violated. Each requirement must be modified or substantially design change in warranty. Okay, this is a third one. Okay, next we are having some to implement this we are having 5 improvements to be basic waterfall model that would eliminate most of the development risk. First one is complete program and design before analysis and coding. What do you mean by that? By this technique, the program designer gives the surety that the software will not fail because of storage, timing, and data fluctuations. Okay, the designer is giving guarantee that the software will not fail. Okay, being the design process, the programmer design, not the analyst or programmer. Here designer is giving this suggestion, not the analyst or programmer. Okay, write an overview document that is understandable. He is going to write the document which is informative and which is concurrent current, so that every worker on the project can gain an elemental understanding of the system. That is nothing but he can understand what is the project is. Okay, like that he have to write the document with the description. Okay, next thing she maintain current and complete documentation. For everything we have to maintain the documentation. It is necessary to provide a lot of documentation on most software programs. Why? Because the persons who are coming next should know everything about the project. Why? Because they don't have any knowledge of the project. By seeing this documentation only, he will get the idea that what is the project about. So the documentation is very important. Due to this helps the support later modifications by the separate test team, is a separate maintenance team, and operational persons who are not software literals. Okay, next one, do the job twice if possible. See, if computer program is developed for the first time, arrange matter so that version finally delivered to the customer for the operational deployment is actually the second version is so far a critical design operation or conduct. Okay, you can do this process n times, many times. If it is successful, do it 10 times approach in this principle of modern day iterative development. Next one we are having that plan, control and monitor this testing. So the biggest use of the project resource is test phase. This phase of greatest risk in terms of cost and schedule. So in order to carry out the proper testing, you have to do the following. First one, employ the team of test specialists who were not responsible for the original design. Okay, we have to require the or take the persons who are very specialist in testing. So next one, employ the visual inspections to the spot that obviously errors like dropped minus signs, missing factors of 2, jumps to wrong address. You have to see the errors like this. Okay, any errors are there which are missing factors, jumping address, like that. Okay, test every logic phase. Employ the final checkout on the target computer. Okay. Next, involve the customer. Last one is involving the customer. It is important to involve the customer in a formal way so that he has committed himself at earlier points before final delivery by conducting some reviews such as preliminary software reviews during preliminary program design steps. Next, critical software reviews during program design. Final software acceptance reviews following testing. Okay, the persons you have to involve customers. Why? Because they have reached their they are satisfied or not, they are reached their dreams or not. Okay, how the customer feels, you have to take them into the consideration also.